Hello everyone, I hope you guys are doing wonderfully great. I want to make a quick video about the tree structure of the Chicago Hardy tree and the growth habit and what works really best for me. And on my way there, I want to stop here by another fig favorite of mine, the G. Neri. And I have this specific fig from two different sources, from two different growers. So I want to grow them side by side. One of them is in a relatively small pot, still kind of young. But the other one, which has been in ground for about maybe a year or so now, is already remarkably prolific. But this video won't be ready until the figs are, so I'm guessing sometime probably tomorrow. So stay tuned and subscribe if you want to get that video. But this video is going to be about another fig, a very popular fig, not one of my favorites necessarily, but definitely one of the most popular Mount Etnas, and that is this fig right here, which I'm growing very, very densely close to two other fig varieties. Now, just in case there was any doubt that you are not going to get good growth if your figs are literally less than 3 feet apart, well, I would love to prove that theory wrong, because on the far right we have the White Marseille, which probably has like 500 figs on it right now. I mean, it is ultra loaded. And right next to it I have a Celeste, and to my far left here is the Chicago Hardy, for which I'll be making this video. Now, I'm growing the Chicago Hardy as a bush, so it's not the optimum shape for me personally. I started out as a single leader, but then I noticed that I could actually expand a little bit here to the left to capture a little more sun, and I'm glad I did, because this thing is absolutely loaded with figs. I mean, I cannot stress this enough. And mind you, I do not even water this fig. I give it zero fertilizer. I give it zero care. And sometimes, like this year, zero pruning. So I couldn't possibly be a worse caretaker to this fig. And it's already giving me just an incredible abundance of figs. So I'm going to go ahead and harvest some of these while we're here. Oh, that's an interesting shape. Reminds me of something. At any rate, I would like to say that I'm growing this fig as a bush, but I do know for a fact that you can grow Mount Etnas as a single leader, and I've seen them grow as such in Europe. When I've been to Italy and Greece, I've seen them grow Mount Etna type figs as single leaders, yes, quite successfully. This one has 3 branches, and they're all equally prolific, and it seems to do well in my climate here, 7A, 7B in Virginia, because we do sometimes, not always, but sometimes get a little bit of dieback. So if you have a multi-branched tree that also has multiple terminal ends, and some of those die back, you still get an incredible abundance of figs, more so than you can ever eat, enough to give away to friends and family and such. So I'm going to go ahead and harvest some of these more ripe ones. I don't know if I'm going to include these in the video, because I already made a video about the Chicago Hardy and what I think about it. But yeah, maybe just harvest these because they are really ready to go, and try not to drop them on the ground. Yeah, there's still quite a few of these, and there's just a lot of figs on here. Now, these ones to my left are not Chicago Hardys at all. They're actually Celeste figs that have grown into the space of the Chicago Hardy, the Celeste being a much more vigorous grower than the Chicago Hardy, which I find to be quite a slow grower, actually, even though it's still very prolific. So yeah, I'm gonna see if I can take these guys inside and maybe add them to this video so we can see how how well they are. One thing that I like about the Chicago Hardys is that the color, the pulp, is just this beautiful bright red color, quite vibrant, unlike say the Celeste, which has a little more of a bland amber type interior. So, all right, without any further delay, I'll take these inside and I'll cut them open. All right, see you guys in there. Alright guys, so here we are back inside, and just as a comparison, I went on ahead and harvested just an ultra ripe White Marseilles fig. This won't be part of the video, but just thought to harvest it, and two smaller sized Celeste. So just as a comparison, we can see how the White Marseilles is a little bit bigger than the Chicago Hardy, but significantly the Chicago Hardy is significantly larger than the Celeste, which is traditionally not a big fig. So let's get these out of the way, and we'll have a look at these other ones. I think we should try all of them, but I think we should definitely focus on this one, which is the most ripe of all. So I'll go ahead and do the typical weighing of these figs, and then we'll give them a quick taste test. All right, so here we are. Let's go ahead and weigh these. First one comes in at 26, medium to small, 31, and finally, 30. I thought that'd be a little bit smaller. Okay, and from these, I think the most ripe one is this one. Got a little bit of cracking on the skin, so we can go ahead and cut it open and see what it's like on the inside. I'm already thinking that it will be a vibrant red color with a nice berry flavor. Let's see if we're right. Again, trying to do this one-handed is not easy, so just bear with me. Oh yeah, there we go. Just a beautiful, beautiful, bright red color. Hopefully this fig is as tasty as it looks. Could have maybe used half a day or a day or so on the tree, but I'm sure it's gonna taste just great. Okay, let's give this a try. Oh yeah. Absolutely great taste. It's not the most intense fig that I've ever had, but I do like that the berryness of this fig gives way to some of the sweetness. So I think it's a pretty good balance of both. Again, not my favorite fig, don't get me wrong. I prefer the sweeter, whiter varieties, but this one is definitely not a bad fig, and I strongly recommend it. If anything, I would probably grow this in a pot, and if this video isn't going to be too long, I might just run outside really quick and show you guys the exact same fig. As a matter of fact, it is a clone of this fig growing in a pot, and to show you how prolific that is as well. So maybe we should sample this one piece, maybe just leave this and bring some more figs from the potted plant and actually do a comparison. All right, let's do that. Yeah, so let's see if we can head on over there to the potted tree, which is this one over here. And you can see that this is a much smaller version of the previous tree. The figs are also smaller in size. Obviously, it's growing in a pot. It won't be as vigorous as the mother tree, but it is nonetheless just equally prolific. I mean, there are figs on every single node, even though they are quite smaller in size. So I'm going to go ahead and harvest this one here, which seems to be ready. And we can take it inside and compare it to the one that we just tried. All right, so let's go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you guys back inside. Okay, everyone, so here we are back inside, and this is the newly harvested fig from the potted plant, young potted plant actually. And we'll go on ahead and do the same thing as we did for the other one. Oh, actually, you know what? I forgot to weigh it. So let me put the stem back. Give it a weigh before. So this one weighs in at about 26 grams. It doesn't surprise me that it is quite smaller than the other 3 samples because even in terms of volume, it was smaller. And it's growing in a pot, so my expectations are always lowered when something is growing in a pot versus the in-ground cultivar. So this is the fig that we just harvested from the pot, and this is the one that we harvested off the tree. The color isn't quite the same. This one is a little more muted, while this one is a little more vibrant. But let's see, maybe, appearances could be deceiving. So let's go ahead and give this a taste test and see what it's like. Yeah, it is good. It is good. It's not as good, to be honest, as this one. But then again, we are tasting one sample for one sample, which obviously could not be representative of the entire tree cultivar. So let's go ahead and try this initial one again. Yeah. Much more intense berry flavor, much sweeter, much milder, much smoother. Whereas this one from the potted tree is, well, it's just a little, I know, not as satisfying. Okay. And oddly enough, I can't quite explain this, but I'm going to share this on camera. It does have a little bit of a sulfuric taste, and maybe a little bit of an oniony taste. I'm not quite sure why. That's very odd. I've never had a fig have that aftertaste, but in both cases, in both of the cut pieces, I had the same experience. So there's no doubt that that one fig had that a little bit of an anomaly. Well, that's it about the Chicago Hardy, but you know me, I'm a big fan of the white figs, white sweet figs. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this guy open. This is a white Marseille fig. Absolutely love these figs. And when you get this this browning on the skin, the fig is even sweeter. So I am 100% certain that this fig will be an absolute delight. So let's go ahead and try this. Oh yeah. Irresistibly good. Skin and all, just irresistibly good. The Chicago Hardy is not a bad fig, but in my opinion, it does not compare so well with many of the other 57 or so cultivars that I currently have. So anyway, I don't want to make this video too long, so I'll cut it off there, guys. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll do my best to upload more fig varieties and more growing techniques and cloning and so forth, always in a healthy, organic way, without too many chemicals and hormones and pesticides and such. All right, thanks again, and I'll see you guys on the next one.